It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
The heck you are. You look like Toni Erdmann to me.
But this is It's Movie Time!
Oh, Kevin. You know, the Oscars are a couple of days away. And I thought we should have something that's Oscar-related. So I found a German comedy.
Yeah.
Now, that takes a bit of discovery.
You generally don't think of German comedies.
You don't. So, if for those who are not watching the video, Kevin is dressed up as the titular Toni Erdmann of the German guy. He's got a fantastic blonde wig on.
Fantastic is a word for it, that's for sure.
And
just some fake teeth.
Fake teeth, which is really what Toni Erdmann in that German comedy wears sometimes.
That's what Toni Erdmann is, right?
And it's not really his name. It's like Winifred, but he chooses the pseudonym.
It's his alter ego. He basically is, everyone has a crazy uncle.
It's good.
Or father. In this one, it's a father-daughter situation. But everyone has that crazy uncle. This is your crazy uncle, if he were German, basically.
So if you're having problems with your daughter, your professional daughter,
Yes.
and you're of a certain age, and you want to connect again, then
Don't do this.
However, it does make for an amusing movie that may be a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But it is up for an Oscar for a best foreign language film. So I think it's worthwhile for Its Movie Time to look at it. And Kevin, what is funny about this film? Or comedic, I guess I might say.
What's interesting about the movie is it has some very funny scenes. It does comedy in different ways. There's the overt comedy where Toni Erdmann is this obnoxious idiot who's this. He's basically this alter ego that this father had as a prank for his daughter, and his daughter's like in her late 30s or early 40s, trying to have a career, and he's still running around with his wig and his. So that's very broad and easy to digest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does some real bizarre comedy as well that's just uncomfortable. that isn't meant to be a knee slapper, but it's just you watch that and you're just like, oh, I don't know. This would be really horrible to be in that situation, and then you have these funny lines that get dropped.
It's very absurdist in some
Yes.
points, and slapsticky in another. Underneath, Kev, I think there is a theme about adjusting to the contemporary world of business.
Yeah.
She is a consultant. She's uptight.
Oh, yeah.
And he just bursts in. And we're never told, but I guess we infer after a while that he's trying to reconnect with her. Once had a good connection, he's trying to reconnect. And the way he does is one of the ways he used to is put in these bad teeth that you have.
Do these fake teeth, and you get introduced by him early in the movie, and again, it's a foreign language film, but it's very different than what you'd see as an American film because it doesn't state what's really going on. You just kind of have to figure it out. And you see him as this alter ego the first time accepting a package at his door from a package delivery guy who doesn't know anything about it. And so he could be somebody else. He doesn't know. But that's just the way this guy is. He doesn't take life seriously. And his daughter takes life super seriously.
Way too seriously, right? I remember when he he comes into the office as something like a life coach or something. I forget what it is. And she, of course, is not going to introduce him to her colleagues as her father. So she kind of has to put up with his zaniness.
Yep.
But then, Kevin, in Toni Erdmann, the name of this film, there is a memorable scene.
Yeah.
May go down in history as maybe the best. What do you think? The nude scene.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one I didn't come as. I was either going to do with the wig and the teeth, or just come in completely naked.
Look at this is a variation, as several critics would probably say, of letting everything hang out.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm talking about. This sort of uncomfortableness, and it's not something you would expect to happen, and it does take a little bit of time for you to catch up to what's really going on in the scene, and how impromptu this is. So that's part of that absurdness that you would never get away with that in America.
You wouldn't. It is. There is one point where he comes out, and I think they're outdoors. Something like Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's a giant monster costume.
It's called the Bulgarian Kukeri monster. It's this huge, hairy monster that kind of shambles around.
But you don't know it's him. That's the thing that's amazing about it, is you don't know, and you watch this and you're like, this could turn into a horror movie very quickly.
Yeah. So, are they eventually reconciled?
Well, I don't want to give anything away. I mean, but I think that there's an answer in there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what's interesting is you've seen these kind of movies before with an uptight parent or kid.
Right.
And then the parent or kid of the opposing parent or kid comes in as a train wreck, and then they have to sort of reconcile. And we see that. We saw that last year with The Meddler was one of them. That was one that you saw. It was an American movie. But this is made for a wholly different cultural audience, but it hits a lot of the same themes. I mean, the uptight daughter who works in business and wants to be taken seriously, and then the father, the older figure who just, his life has never kind of come together.
You know, so you have two fronts in this film. You have the family communication problem.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the lack of a fit between that and the demands of the business world.
Well, and showing how sometimes if you're in the business world, and I've been in and out of that, it can sometimes be a little bit crushing at times because it is taken so seriously and there is no levity to it. And that's universal, no matter what culture you're looking at. So yeah, you're right. That's a theme that shows up here, and it's very strong and it's very relatable.
Kev, do you remember the Whitney Houston scene?
Yes.
All right. Doesn't she sing?
She sings the Olympic song, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I'd forgotten. That's why I was hoping maybe you did. But
yeah, it's like a karaoke
thing. She sings a Whitney Houston song, which will connect some of our audience, I think, to this. And I think we need to advise our listeners that it is in German, so it's subtitled. For me, I can get over the subtitles in a few minutes. I'm with it.
Yeah.
My eye can scan both of those at the same time and enjoy it. I know it's a little bit annoying for other people.
It sometimes in terms of subtitles, they can be very difficult if it's a very talky movie. If there's a lot of dialogue thrown at you, or if there's a lot of stuff happening on screen you got to pay attention to while you're reading. But I think it balances it out. It's a character piece. But it's not extraordinarily dialogue heavy.
Right.
But they do slip into English every now and then, so you get a break.
All right, Kevin Carr. The film is Toni Erdmann.
Yes.
What grade would you award it?
I'm going to give it a B+.
Oh, and I'm certainly going to give it a B. And I will tell you that my reservation is that it's almost 3 hours with some repetitive scenes.
It is very long, yeah.
However, if you've got a quirky sense of humor like Kevin, you could enjoy it.
All right.